This is the rocket-powered space capsule. All systems are go.
Captain's Log number 30. This is Chandler Roberts reporting for Fearless Fame. Finally getting back into the Arcane Journey podcast. I've been doing pretty well with the Rise and Grind segment of my podcast, and I've been posting those, and I've also been capturing the video, and so I've been kind of using the audio from that video as the podcast. It has been a fairly simple process. The only thing that has been kind of happening with the Arcane Journey, because it's the exact same process, just a different title and a different time of the day, which is the big deal with it. It's late in the day that I'm trying to do these ones, and at that time of the day I've been editing all of the earlier footage, and so today I didn't really capture any footage in the morning, and so I just started putting together some clips from the nighttime. I first started with meditating, getting that recorded, just a little bit of it, because you don't need to watch a half hour of me doing nothing. 10 seconds is more than enough. Just kind of capturing, the fact that I am meditating, because that's something that I like to suggest to others, because it's been something that's helped me. It's just relaxing, good for you, and allows me to focus afterwards. I've been feeling a little not distant, but distracted, maybe. Distracted might be the right word. I just feel like I've got a lot that I'm trying to think about, with a lot of different projects going on, and I feel like I'm just doing a lot of a little. So like a little bit here and a little bit there, but not a lot into one thing. And so I'd like to switch my focus, and maybe, because I've got Lost Lands coming up, which is a music festival that Jeff, Max, Jared, and I, all four of us are going to for the second year now. All four of us went last year, and we're going back. And this time, since we know what to expect and everything, I want to do a little bit more networking more than I did at Electric Forest, because Electric Forest was a good sample, or a good trial run. We tried some things, talked to a lot of people, and gained some communication skills, and now we're going to use those skills at Lost Lands and try and get, so I guess the objective that I'm going for is to, one, just spread awareness about Fearless Fame, so just telling people that, like the same things that we like, because obviously if we're at the same music festival, we're into the same type of music, and you get a good sense of the type of people that they are when you talk to them while you're waiting in line, and so it's fun to meet like-minded people and get them to see what I'm doing outside of the festival, and learn about what they're doing outside the festival. And then sometimes what they're doing requires some design work, and that's where I can get some business out of it, so I can meet some new people, get some new work, and spread some awareness. So yeah, it's all around a big win for us if we can do it right, and this time we're prepared to have more success than we did with Electric Forest, and Electric Forest was already fairly successful, so I'm looking forward to that. And I must finish the totems in advance, because we've been not finishing the totem. Well, I've been not finishing the totem, or totems. There's two. I want to do one that's the summer logo that I have out on the online shop, and then I want the second one to be of the family crest logo, and have that include all of our social media handles and whatnot, so that people can find us easily and connect with us without us needing to write it down, because that had to happen a lot at Electric Forest. Thankfully, I had paper, so I was prepared, but it'll be easier to just have it on our totem, so I don't have to write it and hand it out to everyone. And even though handing them out was a good distribution, and it allowed them to not have to remember, and because not everyone brings their phone with them into the festival, so they can't just instantly add, like I would hope a lot do. So in preparation for that, I will have business cards also printed out, and so those I can hand out, and they can just keep in their pocket until later, and then connect with us then. And so I want that to be the primary focus for me, and then the secondary focus to be onto the cartoon, the Palm Tree Squad. I've been watching a lot of old school, like, Looney Tunes cartoons, and it's been making me really want to get right back into the cartoon designing, because I've been putting it on hold a little bit, or I should say I've just been doing very little on it. I do maybe a couple sketches a week, and then, because I'm also fitting in trying to do all these logos for all my different projects, so there's design time, and then I'm trying to skate a lot because it's been so nice outside, and so just using up time there, and then hanging out with Jeff before he goes back to school, which I had originally thought was going to be last Friday, but circumstances required that he takes off in 6 weeks instead of Friday, so get some extra time to hang out with him, which is cool. And so I'm spending a lot of time playing basketball, and then also just trying to have relaxing time, where I'm not putting the time, like, meditating and getting adequate amounts of sleep, because I don't like to actually do nothing. I like to rest, and I like to recover. I don't like to waste time, and so the only times that I'm quote doing nothing, like I said, is if I'm meditating to quiet my mind and let everything just kind of settle for a second, and then when I'm sleeping, because there are a lot of nights where I don't get a good amount of sleep, in my opinion, and I can feel it the next day, obviously, and so I'd like to have a more consistent sleep pattern. I've done very well at rewiring my sleep schedule. I am getting up a lot more consistent at an earlier time, and that was something that I've been wanting to accomplish, and it's still a little bit to be worked on as far as some consistency levels, but I am getting the results that I'm looking for, which is good. I'm on track, and so I think that the next step would be to be showing up to work at 8. I've been fairly good at getting there between 8 and 8:45. I would like the time frame to be 8 to 8:30, where if I'm getting in, at like 8:25, in my mind I'm pushing it. I'm almost late, because that's what I think about at 8:45 right now. if Bruce were to pull in before me, and I get in and I'm pulling in at 8:45, I'm thinking to myself, oh, you could have been here 15 minutes earlier, you know, even though it's not an issue, because I'm there before 9, which is the realistic. After 9, I'm late. But I do aim for 8:30, and everyone else at the shop aims for 8:30. So that's what I'm trying for. And then I would like to be there, first and earlier. So 8 o'clock is the goal. I don't really care to get there any earlier than 8. Because I think that that's time that I can just spend at my house. Because the only advantage to getting the shop earlier would be some free time on the computers, but I can have that same time after work. And so I like to dedicate my mornings to completely at my house and getting all ready, and then getting to the shop ready to do shop work, and then put in my 8 hours there, and then once the 8 hours is over, switch over to Fearless Fame, and then work however long I have left in me, and then get back home and take the little pause. I like to meditate for half an hour a day, but I like to break it up into a morning, afternoon, and evening session of 10 minutes each. And so get home, have that pause, maybe eat a little bit, get some energy back into me, and then that's when the physical activities usually happen. So playing basketball, doing some parkour training, skating around town, whatever it is that I am feeling like doing that day. And then working on some secondary Fearless Fame stuff that is away from the computer, because once I leave the shop, I don't really tend to go back until the next day, and so when I get home, it is no longer computer work, it's paper and pencil type of work, and so to me that's the idea time, when I'm at home, and a lot of the art side, the drawing and the sketching and painting and all that, and then when I get to the shop is digitalizing it, so getting it all clean, logos and vector shapes and all that stuff, and giving it some texture in Photoshop and whatever it is that I need to do in that sense. And so usually between those two I get my content, so the process of, I can film that whole process from the idea to the doing the art, to the transferring the art to the digital, and my thoughts along the whole way. And so the only thing is I get in such a good rhythm that I forgot to film the early part of the process, and so that's the learning curve for me right now, is trying to film while I do, because at first it was getting myself to start doing, which I've done now, and so now I do a lot of work, but now it's get myself to document the work, and so that's a second challenge, because now I give up a little bit of doing time for setup time, which is where a nice crew would come in and take away my setup time so that I could just do and be filmed while I'm doing it. But we'll get there eventually. For now, I'm fine doing all the work that I need to myself. That's not an issue for me. But, because this whole thing is just a lot of fun for me. Getting to make art is, to me, a privilege to be able to do for a career. And so I'm just happy with everything, where we're at now and where we're going, and yeah, no complaints. Life at this moment, there's really nothing wrong right now, which is a really bizarre feeling for me, to have it all going good. And so I'm just thankful for every moment and ready to see where an unrestricted mindset can take me.